So as someone who fishes a lot, you always need ice. Today I'm going to show you how to make an ice maker for about $300. I've made two of these for less than that, but I was lucky finding clearance or used parts. If you already have access to a chest freezer or some ice maker components from old fridges, you can definitely do it for cheaper. Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace are your friend. I'll put some links to new items in the comments or the description. So being a home brewer, I had experience building a collar on a freezer to give you somewhere to drill holes through a freezer. Since there's refrigerant in the walls of the freezer, you can't drill through the walls without first adding a wood collar. So first you remove the lid hinges, then you add the wood collar and reattach. There's already a video on this, so I won't go into too much more detail. Just look in the description for the Keezer build. So once you have the collar on, you can mount your ice makers. You can also drill the holes for the electrical and the water supply lines. Give this a little thought on your individual build depending on how many ice makers you add and the size of the freezer. I also added a fan to expedite the cooling of the ice mold to pull the cold air up from the freezer when you first start this up, because there's not going to be any ice in there yet. So you've got to get that cold enough to start making the ice. It's triggered on a temperature reading, and so when that reading gets cold enough, it spits out the ice and pours water and makes more. So sometimes having that fan helps expedite that process. So when you're running your electrical, I took junction boxes and I interrupted the power cord and then ran those up to the ice maker. Now there'll be a schematic inside, typically inside the cover on each of these ice makers, and that'll show you exactly what wires are what. But for the most part, it's a 4 wires. It's power, neutral, ground, and then a water switch. So one side of the water switch goes to the water valve, and the other side goes to neutral, and that tells the water valve to open up and let water flow in and fill your ice tray. Water comes in. You can also add a water filter. Again, for me, I just had a water filter that took the same tubing you would use to hook up your refrigerator to your water supply in the house, and I broke that connection and added a water filter, and it makes the ice taste better. So that works good. You can run these inside and outside. I have mine on the outside of the house, just hooked up to a garden hose. It's perfect. In the winter time, I just shut off the water and let the freezer run. Other than that, it works really well. Start it back up when I start my sprinklers in the spring. Mine makes about 2 to 3 bags of ice a week, which is perfect for me for fishing on the weekends. Sometimes I snag a bucket or so in the middle of the week just to put some drinks in the cooler. My freezer holds about 12 to 15 bags of ice, so usually I can get some stored up in between trips and always have some ice around. I hope this helps you figure out how to make an ice maker. If you have any questions, just drop a comment and I'll be sure to answer it. Thanks for watching.